I wanted to do this emergency video for you guys today so that way I can share with you guys. Don't get distracted by the President Trump slash Elon Musk battle that's going on right now. It is really a distraction to what? You continuing to focus on building and creating wealth for you and your family. That's the real thing here. Now, it, being real though, like does $150 billion worth of valuation go away? Like that's a lot. Like as it relates to Tesla is concerned, I think it was $150 billion or more. Somewhere it is a ridiculous amount of market cap that got lost based on this high school argument. It's not high school because I mean, I guess if I was one of the richest man on the planet and I didn't like something, I didn't get to being that level, not liking something and not saying something and doing something about it. So I get where he's at. But the goal here isn't for that. We can't spend Elon's money. You can't spend Trump's money, President Trump's money, none of that stuff. None of us can. But what we can do is we can focus on building and growing wealth for ourselves so we don't have to be distracted by the things that's going on in the marketplace right now. This one right here was about the stocks and the jobs and all the other stuff that was going on without Jerome Powell lowering the interest rates, which President Trump has been pushing on him about that. But here's why I wanted to go over this video with you. If you keep getting distracted by what's going on in the media, the headlines, we talk about all the time, it'll take your focus off of what your job is, and that's to grow wealth for you and your family. Period. Keep working, keep growing your revenue, whether you're a doctor, you have a practice, or a dentist, whether you own a contracting company, you're a consultant, a financial advisor, or a coach online, doesn't matter. Your job is to, number one, get money from people. Keep serving your customers, serving your clients, serving the people that you deal with, selling your products because you owe that to the marketplace. That is your responsibility to do. And then once you have that money, take that money and you're going to bank that money. You're not saving money, you're storing money, right? You store that money so you can invest it into something that what outlives you, your family, that pays you, that all that other stuff. That is how you stay away from some of the current distractions that's going on in the marketplace. It's important to bear that in mind because it's real easy. I do it too. I watch this and be like, what? No way. Bitcoin's up, Bitcoin's down, Tesla's down. They're arguing in the market, and then I have to go back to like, dude, what's my target? My target is to create a magnificent amount of wealth for my family. Not now. I'm 51 years old. I'm not thinking about now. I'm thinking about 71, 72 after I die with my kids, my grandkids. They're my grandkids. Like that's what I'm thinking about. So yes, I see this. This does affect me, but what it does do is it motivates me. Just the same way it should do for you guys. It shouldn't distract you. It should motivate you to go, what's my target? Create wealth. What's my number? For me, $50 billion worth of real estate under assets under management, grow a massive company that helps millions of people in and out of my lifetime. That's my target. So as I see these things, it just makes me go, dude, you need to hurry up. The product that you have, the investment opportunities that you have for people, that's going to help people. What's that for you? What is your company? Like you have to take a look at what you have, your investment vehicle, your business, your job, your work, whatever that is, and let the distractions motivate you to lean into your wealth, right? So the reason why I said it as a reminder is because as I talk about keeping focus, what's now outside of your target, you guys set your own targets. We have other videos on setting financial targets. Watch those. But what I did was I went over the things that you should be focused on as it relates to what you should keep your focus on with your investments, right? So, number one, you need to make sure that your investments, wherever you're putting your money, this is why I always said, man, if your money's sitting in the bank in savings, it's at risk. Your money is whatever. We've all been taught that. We've been indoctrinated to think, hey, look, save your money, put it in the bank, turn your lights off, eat all your food, like all of these things. But that has nothing to do with growing your income, raising the level of your top line, and also investing and creating wealth for you and your family, right? So when I'm talking about these things, when I say keep your focus on creating wealth, I'm talking about where should you have your money. So if you're going to invest your money, like I said, I have a couple of things that I go over, but I'm going to go over them again today because, and I'm going to keep pushing on it until you guys get it because you follow me for that. If you don't follow me, I get it. If you don't like the way I am, or I talk fast, or I walk fast, I understand that too. But I'm going to keep doing it because at some point it'll sink in. And I appreciate you guys for being here. But for number one, where you invest your money, if you're going to create wealth, long-term wealth, number one, it needs to protect your capital. As you guys can tell, the ups and downs in the stock market, all the things that's going on with with President Trump, Elon, the taxes, the new big beautiful tax bill, and Elon called the tax bill the big ugly tax bill. That's one of the things you don't do, man. You don't tell somebody their babies are ugly, but but like that's important to kind of recognize what's happening, right? Like all of the things going on in the world, like some bad headline dropped Tesla $150 billion in market value. Like that same thing happened with Nvidia, all of the Mag 7. When I talk about the Mag 7, we're talking about there's only seven stocks, which is the Magnificent Seven in the S&P 500. Those seven stocks combined make more money than all the other 493 stocks in the S&P 500. If you actually remove those seven stocks have the valuation and the revenue and the growth that are sustaining this market. So if you're depending on that for yourself, man, you're going to be stuck. You need to be aware of those things that the market, the media, all of these things can affect valuation. That affects you, your family in the future, right? So you want to have your money in a place where it protects your capital, period. And you guys know I'm a bit, man, that's why I love real estate. Multifamily, commercial level real estate, institutional quality real estate. Like last week when Tesla shares dropped, you know what didn't drop? The rents at an apartment complex. Those rents stayed the same. There's stability there. That protects your capital as you're investing money. So, number two, where you want to invest your money in a place that you get the tax advantages of being in that place. I don't think a lot of people understand this. When I talk to people and I'm like, hey, what's your biggest expense? They'll say, well, it's my mortgage or my rent or my car or my credit card bills or my student loans or my debt. Because, like I said earlier, we're all indoctrinated to what? Save your money at the bank, go to college, get a degree, buy a home. All of those things are bank indoctrination things. Those are bank products. Savings accounts are a bank product. Mortgages are a bank product. Banks wouldn't even be open right now if it wasn't for mortgages because they lend money, they give you a mortgage, and you pay on it for 30 years or whatever. So, that said, though, your taxes are the largest expense any one person in America has, really around the world. But we're just talking about you right now, right? So if you're a big shot, you're probably spending about 40 to 50% in expenses. Let's say 37% in expenses, 28% in expenses, depending on where you live, California, New York, some of the highest state taxes ever. You're tacked on another, I don't know, 13, 14, maybe 15% of that. So you're spending 50, if you made $100,000 a year, $55,000 of the money that you generated from your job goes to taxes. You're working half of the year. You're working to pay your taxes, working to pay the state, the government, the federal taxes, all that stuff. So if you're going to invest money, you want to put your money in a place that one protects that capital. Number two, you get the tax benefits of the investment. So it actually pays you to make the investment by now not needing to pay that much money in taxes. That's what real estate does. All right. So number three, it needs to give you passive income. Like as a matter of fact, we did one of the things. So like Apple doesn't pay a dividend. What was the other one? Some of the other companies out there that we look at, Tesla and all that stuff, Twitter doesn't pay, which is now X, doesn't pay dividends. All of the things that a lot of people want to run to as it relates to the stock market, and I got money in this, none of them give you passive income. So while you are working and putting your money in a place, they are taking your money, using it to continue to expand the business, but you aren't getting any benefit of that. You may get the ups of that, but you just saw Tesla stock dropped. Uh, Nvidia's dropped, Apple dropped, like Microsoft has dropped. All of the things that have been holding everything up. Even Netflix at some point is doing great now, but a little while ago it wasn't. Right? Any bad report in the market, whether they're not hitting projections or they're cutting back on what their future projections are for the revenues or anything like that, man, it gets slammed. I think Lululemon lost like 20, 30% or more. I'm probably off on that. I'm probably reverse that number. They probably lost 80% of their value because they cut back. They cut back on their projections. Those things happen. And if you're in a situation where you're in an investment, stock market, retirement accounts, because it's all tied to, I mean, if it's not a real asset, it's tied to Wall Street, period, no matter what you think it is. Even if it's a wholesale life policy or you borrowed against it and you're loaning against it, it's all stock market, period. I mean, they're all in bed together. They're not bad, but you got to play a different game. So, but if it's not paying you and you're just riding that wave, it's going to affect. So it needs to pay you some type of passive income while you're growing your revenue in your company, your business, your work. That thing's paying you, right? You earn that. All right. So next, you want to be in something that gives you long-term appreciation or long-term growth. Like meaning, when I say long-term, I'm not talking about 3 years or 5 years. I'm talking 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 100-year growth pattern. If I put money in something and I'm going to leave it there, and I know that, 20 years later, I want to be able to look at it and it's grown, whether I pushed on it or not. Like that's what I expect. And real estate does that, but you should get to high level of long-term appreciation in your valuations. Like they're talking about Trump versus Musk now, all the social posts and how it affected Tesla's share bounced back after sellouts because they lost a bunch of stuff and now people are buying it. They're calling it a bounce back, but people are just buying Tesla shares because the share price is dumped, right? Of course, you're going to buy more shares if you can buy them for cheaper than what you had them at. Like when you can cut through this, you start to see the game. You're like, oh, that's the game. I get the game. Anyways, get me started on that. So, next, outside of the long-term appreciation that you want to see in your investments, you want to also move right into something that protects your money from inflation, right? Inflation is also a hidden tax. So aside from your normal taxes, your 40%, 50% taxes that you end up paying, the biggest expense that you have, right? You also have the inflationary tax, which means the dollar is losing its buying power every year, every day, because the cost of goods are going up, right? So even though, let's say, $100 bill has 100 on it, it buys about 20% less every year, right? They're fighting for inflation. They're going, oh, let's keep inflation down to 3% a year, 2%. Like, I'm 51 years old. The dollar has lost 86% of its buying power since I've been born, right? So it's going to continue to do that. Warren Buffett says it's lost 90% of its buying power since he's been born. And I think it's going to continue on going on that path because guaranteed, no matter what's happening, you see what's happening. They're going to print more money. And if they print more money, the inflate it's going to continue. They have to continue to print with the way our debt, the way the debt is in this country. They're going to lower the interest rates. Values are going to skyrocket up. They're going to give the public more money. One way, shape, or form, they're going to give it more money. Lowering the interest rates is also giving the public more money because you're going to borrow that money, right? Period. So that said, sorry, it's happening, guys. You need to have your money in a place where it keeps up with inflation. Real estate does that because it's a real asset. Real assets go up with inflation. Paper assets, discounted assets, digital assets go down because there's more people doing it. It's easily able to be transacted. So you want to also have your investments in a place that it's an inflation hedge. Real estate has always been an inflation hedge. As rents go up, values go up in assets. If they become harder to build, more expensive to build, more costly to build, there's going to be a supply and demand discrepancy in multifamily real estate. That's what's happening. That's why multifamily real estate is the better bet if you're going to park your money in a place and fight inflationary stuff, right? Next, it's hard to be disrupted, like I was just talking about. Like people will always need a place to live. AI is not going to disrupt that. I'm not going to be able to press a button on the side of my forehead and AI is going to make me shut down and allow me to sleep and give me all the data that I need. It'll make life easier, right? But human beings will always need a place to live, right? So that multifamily real estate rents in this market are going to continue to drive up. They've been going up since 1945. People will always need a place. Supply and demand is also an issue as it relates to being it hard to being disrupted, right? With all the multifamily units being built, not being built, come around 26, 27, rents are going to skyrocket. There's going to be a demand supply discrepancy for multifamily. They're going to start to build again, which is going to make the cost of every property that we purchase today, the value of that value is going to go up. Because as the rents go up, our properties are going to be more valuable because when they build new product, they're going to have to raise the rents on the new product to make sure the value that they're building at makes sense. Again, because these are financial products, guys. This isn't just, oh, I'm buying a multifamily property. You're talking about parking your money in a real estate deal that is a financial instrument for Fannie, Freddie, life insurance companies, debt funds, Wall Street. That is where all these properties are tied to debt. So as you look at the disruption pattern of where things are, the supply and demand issue, that's how you know that they're not going to be disrupted, right? They're really hard to disrupt. So next, it's real and it's proven. I have real and proven because one, it's a real asset, it's a hard asset. It's not like paper, like it's not like I can take it, rip it in half, boom. There's no value to it once I do that with this paper. Now I can't do that with a multifamily real estate asset. That you take your paper that I can rip, boom, sitting in an account or some digit that I can press a button on and make it go away. And you take that and you move it into a real asset, like real estate, right? A multifamily property, 300 units in a great location, a great asset that's full of people, is cash flowing in a great city, right? So once you do that, that real asset that your money is now went from paper to real converted and it's still there and that thing is producing for you. That can't be destroyed, tampered with. It can't be taken away. It's not Bitcoin. It's not any of those things. And here's the second piece why I said real and is proven, because it's a proven asset class. The Vatican has been around for 2,000 years. The Bible is built off of people arguing and fighting over land and real estate and properties. All the wars that we have right now are all structured over natural resources and land. Natural resources typically are inside of the land that they're fighting over that are covered in what? Residential properties, industrial properties, farm, agricultural land, mountains, oceans, all this stuff. All of that stuff is a part of where we say that this is a proven asset class. People will continue to invest money in that asset class. Governments, religions, all of them are fighting for this one thing, which is real estate. All right. And then the last but not least, and I rarely talk about this, but I'm starting to talk about this more because I'm sharing this because we're talking about now not being distracted and staying motivated about continuing to build your wealth. And that's transfer. It's transferable. Real estate itself is transferable. So let's say, for example, you worked your butt off, you have your retirement account, your IRA, 401k. Say you're a doctor, you got a practice, you've amassed about 40 practices, you combined them, you sold them, and you stepped away, you made $50 million. You take your $50 million or a portion of it, 25 million, you invested in multifamily real estate like Bell Capital or whatever, right? And you have 25 million will get you $100 million worth of real estate, depending on where you're at. Not a lot of real estate. But look, just dream with me here. 400 units. Those 400 units, let's say you live till 100 years old. They're paying you cash flow every month. You got the tax write-offs. You depreciated the property. It's there for you. You got professional management company. You've set up your own family office. They're managing all your assets. The other 25 million at play. This 25 million is locked away in a $100 million deal. So your 125 million is now worth 4 times its value, and it's cash flowing. When you pass away, you structure your family office, all of the things that would get transferred down as generational to be able to stay in your family, that property will now just get passed on. Your kids will now get this cash flow. Your kids will now get the equity. Your church will get the equity. Your charities will get some of the equity. Your charities will get allocations of donations out of that asset. Like that's how wealth is transferred. Right. There will be, I think it was like, I don't know, $25 trillion worth of wealth transferred in this country, in this economy over the next decade or 20 years or whatever that works out to be, or 30 years or 10 years, whatever. Will you be able to do that? You can't do that with paper stocks. You can, people do it all the time, but you figure that valuation comes up and down and you haven't done anything for it. That's why I don't really favor the stock market. I just don't play it. I don't. I'd rather have my money, my wealth, and build a company to help other people be able to do what we're talking about. Be able to invest money in multifamily real estate so you can create generational wealth for your family. So you can transfer the wealth that you have from you to your kids. They can transfer it to their grandkids and they can do something. So you guys have become the Trumps, um, the Hiltons, the Kardashians. You guys can become like Sam Zell, his, for Equity Residential. You could become Steve Schwarzman, the black, like you can become these juggernauts in the world because you had the foresight early to take your revenue from your company or your job and get it out of the stock market, get it out of your retirement account, and start transferring that money into real assets that pay you cash flow every month, that goes up in value and appreciation, tax benefits, all those things, and it can last a lifetime. But you can't do that if you get distracted by this. Circle surge after market debut. Like all of these things are distractions from the real thing, which is create wealth for you and your family, which is why I like to hint on this. And I thought this was an emergency video. So I can jump back in for the people who care, people I care about, the people who follow me, so you understand what's really happening here. Don't get distracted by this. Man, I can do this all day too. I love this stuff. And I'm not teaching, I'm just talking. But if you stick to those things that I talked about, those 8 things. Number one, invest your money. Don't get distracted by this. Invest your money in a place that, one, protects your capital. Two, gives you the tax advantages and benefits. That is your largest expense. If you're going to create wealth, that's the first thing you need to think about. Revenue, getting money in the door. Second, you need to figure out how to not pay taxes on that money. Period. Not illegally, legally not pay taxes on that money. Real estate's one of the best ways to do that. Number three, you need to have something that gives you passive income. While you're working, building your company, building your revenue, if you're 50, 40 years old, 30 years old, even 20 years old, you need to be focused on getting money in the door, saving money slash storing money. You don't even want to save money. You want to save money at the bank to eventually invest money, which is the third one, which is start to multiply that money. And that's how the multiplication starts. So you have your tax stuff, you have your passive income or your passive revenue, whatever that comes from, whether you work, your job, your business. Next, you want to put it in a place that has long-term value, long-term appreciation. It continues to go up in value without you needing to push on it, right? And then next, you want to have something that is an inflation hedge. It protects your money, the value of the money that you invested by riding the wave of inflation without you needing to do anything and also without you losing money from your taxes on it. Six, it can't easily be disrupted. Can't be taken, torn, done a bunch of stuff, a button be pressed and be seized and taken like stocks and money in bank accounts and stuff like that has. I got a story about that. Had some money in a bank account and my bank account got frozen and I panicked. And I was like, it taught me a valuable lesson. Don't keep money in the bank. They didn't go after anybody else because they didn't have any money. They went after the people with money to solve the bank's problem. That was not my problem. All right. So next, it's a real proven asset. You want to be in a situation where you're in a real asset class that's proven to work. It's not guessing. You're not doing a bunch of guesswork. My wife Sharon's calling me. And then next, you want to be in something that can be transferred, something that can be transferred to your family that when you die, it doesn't just stop. A lot of people have businesses. Their businesses are going to die with them. A lot of people have investments. Their investments are also going to die with them because they're not still growing. They are the vehicle that are continuing to pump into their investments, period. So these are the things that I tell you guys that if you're going to keep focusing on your wealth creation, this is what you got to focus on, these 8 things, all right? So I go over, not this, but I go over something else when we go over our meetings and stuff like that at our office that we're doing, these financial wealth planning meetings. They're not wealth planning, I guess, but I go over all of these things in depth with people who are interested in passively investing in real estate, finding out how their investments work for them, get their money working harder for them than they did for it through real estate investments as a limited partner or a passive investor in some of the deals that we're working on. It's something that's great. We go over everything from deals we're looking at, why we liked it, how to invest through the IRA, 401k, not how to legally not pay taxes on some of the money that they're making, the benefits of real estate, the pass-through stuff, what it's like to be a partner, things like that. Like that's the stuff that we go through. But I wanted to share this with you because I lightly go over this there, but on this situation, you don't get to ask me questions. You can leave them in the chat. I would love to hear from you. But I'm hoping that this actually found you in a good place today and that this actually reminded you not to get distracted about what's going on. It's easy to get distracted. I do too. But what doesn't distract me is my ability to go back and look at my target. My target is to create wealth for me and my family. That's my target. My target is to create wealth inside of my company. So my employees, the people who work with me, the people who work for you guys, because you're our partners and investors, so they can also create wealth for their family. So that way it's not just one-sided. We want to create wealth for you and we want to create wealth for all the people around them. You want everyone in your circle to be wealthy. You don't just want to be the only person that's wealthy. Nobody wants that, right? People begin to hate that person. You don't want that for yourself, your people that you care about. So anyways, like this video, share this video, comment on the video, give it a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down. Don't be a hater and a hider at the same time. But I just want to say this, man, I'm here for you guys. If you have something that you want me to talk about, something that I said that stood out to you, put it in the comments. I would love to hear what you have to say. I'm here for you. But the big picture here is do not get distracted by all of the stuff that's going on. You owe it to yourself to create wealth for you and your family from now to the end of time. And I'm looking forward to helping you do that. I want to help you do that. So if you want help with that, go to bell-capital.com. That's bell-capital.com. If you're a accredited investor, you want to get more information about investing your money, you have a 401k, IRA, and you want to find out how to self-direct that into real estate, we're here to help you. I have a team of people that can help you do that. And that's what we are here for. So have a great day today. Let me know if you need anything. Let's get after it. Boom. Are you an accredited investor with $300,000 or more liquid in the bank? I want you to come and partner with me. Look, if you love real estate, passive income, and positive cash flow, appreciation over long periods of time, and you're willing to be patient, come invest with me. Go to bell-capital.com. This is for accredited investors with $300,000 or more in the bank, ready to go. Come invest with me. Go to bell-capital.com.